Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So this video, I'm gonna show y'all everything, literally everything, my whole process of how I'm gonna do this set. And then also I kept everything in real time. All right, cool. So this is gonna be a video on how to do short nails, but specifically ombre, glitter ombre on these short nails. So she's getting short square, right? Now, I would recommend that if you're doing short square or short anything, to get already short tips. I had actually ran out, so I don't have any, but if you go to my Amazon storefront, you'll see the ones I'm talking about. So if you go ahead and use those, you're gonna save so much time. Literally, I kid you not. Glue them on, and if you're doing square, that's your job is done. And if you're doing coffin, you can easily just cut the sides. But right now I'm just gluing on the tips. These are the EC Basket square tips, also in my Amazon storefront. So after I glue them on, I go ahead and I size them to whatever she wants, and then I go cuticle by cuticle, line them up, and use my scissors to cut. Now, with cutting with scissors, you do have to kind of be careful, because you just cutting it one time and being like, okay, yeah, that's good. So I don't know, cutting with scissors is kind of like, so I don't know, like, pleasing to look at. Is that so weird? Like, it's so satisfying to look at. I don't know. Okay, let me just shut up. Not gonna lie, y'all, whenever I'm doing short or whenever I'm doing square, period, whenever I pre-shape, I honestly just do the very, very tip of it and call it a day. Because square, the way the tips come, they're pretty, crisp already. So with me just fouling like the very tips of it, girl, you good to go. Because think about it, you're just pre-shaping. If you spend all day pre-shaping, your application is gonna kind of mess it up anyway. So you might as well save all of that extra time trying to pre-shape and finalize it after the acrylic process. So after I get done shaping the tips, I take my drill with my mandrel attached to it and my sanding band, and I go ahead and blend those tips to the natural nail. Again, everything is in real time, so you can see how long I spend on each finger, on each hand, on each process. Okay, so go ahead and dust those nails off. And in this bottle, I just have alcohol, 100% alcohol, but you can use any kind of bonding system anybody provides. For example, Mia Secret, any kind of dehydrator, alcohol, swipe. You can use any of that. You just pretty much cleaning the surface of the nail before you apply the primer. And today I'm going to use protein bun, and I'm going to use 2 coats. When it comes to primer, guys, you have to apply acrylic. Well, you don't have to, but I suggest that you apply acrylic to wet primer. Wet primer. Primer is like double-sided tape. If you apply it while it's wet, if you apply the acrylic to it while it's wet, everything is going to adhere so much better. So That's exactly why I go ahead and prime both of them twice. Also, make sure you prime them twice, especially with protein bun. Young Nails suggest that you use it twice. So I go ahead and apply it twice, and I put a thin layer of clear because I'm applying acrylic to wet primer. Now, the clear part is optional. You guys know I do that before every set. That part is optional. If you don't want to do that part, you can do one hand at a time. So go ahead and prime one hand twice, apply your acrylic to that hand, and then do the other hand. Because if you let the primer dry up, not saying it won't work, but it just won't work as good as if you would have applied it while it was wet. So now I'm going in and I'm doing my thin layer of clear. And I'm just gonna, I added this part to show you guys when I say thin, I literally mean thin layer, super thin. I do this because, I don't know, I just like a very nice foundation for anything. Clear is the purest form of acrylic. It has no additives in it whatsoever as far as pigment, glitter, anything like that. So I kind of feel like this steps help me with lifting a little bit, because it's just, clear is so strong and it's so pure that, you know, it's a good foundation for any colored acrylic you're going to put on top. That part is optional though. It's a personal preference. If you guys feel like you're having lifting problems, try this step out first, and I promise you, you will not have that many problems as far as lifting. I promise. This clear part definitely helps. And then also, whenever you're doing short nails, try to use a smaller brush. So this brush is a size 12 that I got from Tulip Nail Supply, but it's actually made kind of smaller than my regular 12 I use from Nail Supply Glamour. So whenever you're doing short nails, use a smaller brush. Alright, so since we're doing a glitter ombre, you do the nude part first. The first two nails, I'm going to show you how you can break up the nude section in 2 beads, and then the rest I'm going to show you how you can do it in 1 bead. So while doing this pinky nail, notice how my nude beads are super tiny, because you don't want to grab so much product to the point where now the whole nail is covered. You don't want to do that. And then also, the nude and the glitter part has to be paper thin, because you have to encapsulate this whole thing, right? Okay, so you see this small bead of nude. I'm just gonna walk it to the sides, and then blend it down slightly. You really want to make sure you do the nude part first so that glitter pops when you put it on top. So now you see at the top, I just have a small little section to fill with nude. So I'm going to get another small bead. Don't place it on the cuticle, place it away. Whenever you first lay a bead down, that is when it's the most liquidy. So you don't want to put it directly on the cuticle. Put it a little bit away and use the bristles of your brush to push product into the cuticle. So that way you have control at all times, all right? So with this one, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it in 1 bead. I'm going to place the bead close by the cuticle, use the bristles of my brush to manipulate product around the whole cuticle and my side walls, and then I'm going to lightly blend the bottom. The nude I'm using right now is Young Nails Cover Pink. And when I tell y'all, Young Nails formula is so beginner friendly. Notice how it keeps its shape. So you see how you're able to move it around, but it's still firm, and then whenever you blend it out, it just melts. So easy. And I just did that in one bead. Clean up those sides always. And then make sure you don't put too much product because you have to encapsulate over the glitter. So this is the same glitter I used in my orange freestyle set I posted a minute ago. When it comes to glitter ombre, honestly, I say don't even overthink it because it's glitter. It's gonna look cute regardless. Um, the only thing, just make sure the chunky pieces are not hanging off the edge because it's gonna give you some trouble when it's time to encapsulate. And then also, don't overthink this part. Put the glitter on and move on, girl. If you spend too long trying to perfectly place glitter specks in certain spots, you're gonna be 4 hours on a set. Okay, just put the glitter on, move it around a little bit, clean those sides to keep your shape, then move on, period. Y'all already know I'm using my Mia Secret Clear to encapsulate. Mia Secret Clear has never done me wrong, child. Go ahead and get it. It's beginner friendly, it's affordable, it's easy to get on Amazon Prime. I don't see why not. So, when it comes to encapsulating, I encapsulated the whole thing from cuticle to tip, right? So I placed it and I kind of let the product go down on its own. And you see I'm kind of waiting right here. That's because the product was too liquidy. So if you go back to when I was touching the left side earlier, you will see the product bouncing back onto my brush like it was almost sticky. It's too soon to try to manipulate it. Whenever it's runny like that, just leave it be a little bit, then come back to it when it's a little bit more firm so you can sculpt the clear in place, right? I'm going to show y'all again. I'm going to take a decent sized bead. I'm going to put it at the cuticle close by. I'm sorry, not at the cuticle, close by, and I'm going to use my brush to push product into the cuticle. And now what I'm doing is dragging that product all the way down, making sure the top surface is smooth, making sure all of my glitter is covered. If your glitter is not covered, it definitely will get filed away. So make sure you cover everything. And I'm going to use my brush to cut off the tip. Boom. And then you can still see how the tip is still thin. So even though I'm encapsulating this with clear, my other two steps, my nude and glitter, shouldn't have bulked up the nail that much. So this is a little bit more close up so you guys can actually see what's going on. Again, real time, Mia Secret Clear. And my brush is a size 12, but it's made on the smaller side. I'm just smoothing everything completely out. I work from the sides and then I go to the middle. Now watch when I get this product up from underneath it, it's still thin right there at the tip. That's exactly how you want it. These are the nails with just application. As you can see, they do have a little bulk to them, but we are going to file it a little bit thinner, but they're not just super, super thick. So you don't want short nails to be too thin because they still can break even though they're short, and you don't want them to be too thick. So now I'm going to do the other hand and I'm going to let you guys watch it. In order to get better at doing nails, you have to stick with the same technique over and over again. You can't one day choose to do a 4-ball method and then the next day choose to do a 2-ball method. You have to stay consistent. That's the only way you'll get faster. That's the only way you'll get better. So by keep doing the same thing over and over again, you gain muscle memory. So make sure you guys, whenever you're practicing, make sure you're practicing the same technique over and over again. to prevent your client's skin from getting dusty and crusty, wipe their skin off with alcohol before you start drilling or any kind of fouling. So that way you're wiping off that monomer that's stuck to their skin, so there won't be anything for the dust to stick to. So now that I'm drilling her nails, dust won't get stuck on her skin because I already wiped her skin off with alcohol. So always, well, you don't have to do it, but I don't know. Whenever my clients go wash their hands after I get done fouling and stuff, they never just be washing their hands good enough for me. And I just be like, girl, you still got dried up acrylic right here. Like, so the alcohol trick kind of helped with all of that. For this set, I decided to use one drill bit overall. You guys know that I use one drill bit to file the body of the nail. Then I use a separate cuticle bit to go around the cuticles. But honestly, swapping bits out can make you waste a lot of time. So I just go ahead, well, depending. For this set, I just went ahead and used the same bit overall because I was very confident in my application. So there was just no point for me to, you know, just switch out bits. So you guys, I don't know if you caught that or not, but I had to force her finger down. That's because she started to get a little bit stiff. So whenever my clients start to get a little bit stiff, I kind of bend their finger down towards the table to kind of let them know, like, hey girl, can't do your nails if they're stiff, to kind of, you know, relax them a little bit. And then they kind of knock out of it, shake off, whatever I'm trying to say. Anyway, you know, it is harder to do nails when your clients are stiff, so make sure you communicate with them. Be like, girl, relax. We did not come here to arm wrestle. Please, I just came here to do your nails. Can you let me do your nails? Can you relax or anything? That's like the biggest pet peeve of mine. So you see me pulling her hand down towards the table. Please relax. Another thing, make sure you guys go underneath and thin that part out. Please thin out the tip. And also, it makes your shape even more sharp if you go ahead and thin that out. So my camera had stopped recording when I was shaping her nails, but these are what they looking like after shaping and drilling. Side profile, everything. Looking nice, looking nice. So you see, it's no dust on her skin. She haven't went to go wash her hands yet, but you see, it's no dust on her skin. That's because I wiped them with alcohol. So the tips are thin. Please, please clean underneath, guys. Cannot stress that enough. And these are the finished nails. If you didn't know how to do short nails before, well, now you do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.